Are you ready to listen to a podcast?
Here comes the Playhouse Podcast, thanks to Bradshaw and Bryan Law Offices.
Find, subscribe, and listen.
We learned a couple of weeks ago that your sister might have a crazy lunatic stalker. Let's get an update.
We have an update on Bob. So it was Father's Day. Mind you, I've been hearing about this Bob guy for a while because my sister Emma's brought it up before where it was during the pandemic and she would just always, like, all hours of the day, she'd work for Smile Direct. And so she'd have to do just little conferences.
The Smile Direct Club?
Yeah.
Like, really?
Well, she worked for the dentist's office.
Okay.
And then that was kind of like her side hustle.
All right.
And so she'd have clients throughout the day. So there was never like a set time that she would go to that dog park. There was like noon every day. But this guy, Bob, was always there. My mom has met him, and he was just always around. And it was weird. And she goes, yeah, probably 50 to 70 times he's been at the dog park. That's a lot. And then so she's telling me more about it on Father's Day. We're at her house, and then we take the boys down the street to the river, and we're at this landing, and they're driving their little motorized boats in the river. And she's talking about him. He walks right behind her. She goes, oh my God.
Hey, Bob.
That's Bob. And then I was like, that's Bob? And she was like, shh. But he's walking the dog.
What does he look like,
her.
by the way? Does he look like somebody who
super average,
would
like
eat you?
No, like if you were to describe him to a cop caricature person, like it would be anybody.
Okay.
It's not somebody that has like these distinct. He's not like 7'5".
He doesn't look like Post Malone or anything.
No.
Okay.
Like I couldn't pick him out of a lineup. But now I see him. Now I know what he looks like. And Emily goes to Liam's baseball game. One of the last ones, his tournament game. And she goes, I go, any more Bob sightings? She goes, well, he came over for a drink. And I said,
she's dating him now?
What happened is there's like a band shell down from where she lives on the river. And she was walking Cal, her dog, and Clark was in San Diego. So she's home alone. And she walks Cal at night, and she says that she is watching the show. There's like a concert going on. She feels something behind her, and he's standing right behind her, like, hey, Emily, what are you doing?
Even
so then she likes to get skinned, I guess, and she was like, hey, do you want to just go back and have some drinks on my new patio?
Do you know what that means to any man?
But then they went back and they had a conversation and they were talking. She just said it was so painful because
now he knows where she lives.
That's what I said. I go, Emily, are you dumb? What is happening? Why would you bring him back to your house?
And he believes that she wants to fornicate.
And he lives around there. So then she just texts me at 7:59. I ran into Bob last night again on my walk into town. He's always wearing the exact same jeans and a black T-shirt with some weird shape-shifting creature on the front. Who walks their dog in jeans? What the hell?
Who invites this guy over to their house for drinks?
She's such a, you know those smart people that are just really dumb? Like, she's so smart, and then she does dumb things. And then you're like, I thought you were really smart. But I could not believe that she now showed him where she lives. And then nothing caught.
I'm concerned
They didn't
for
hit
her
it
safety.
off.
They didn't hit it off.
So now he is probably going to get very upset that she's not responding to him in the way that he had hoped.
He knows where she lives now, though. That's
I looked at my mom. I said, is anybody okay with what is being said right now? I could not believe that she invited him over. And I found out he works up here.
Wait, he works in
St. Cloud. So.
Does he know that you're
no
her sister?
No.
You don't think she leaked that, hey, my sister's on the morning show
this
up there?
Could be any Bob out there that lives in Anoka and walks his dog in black jeans. So, but I just think, wow, what a terrible decision on her part.
All of this equates, we saw the signs, I just never thought it would happen. That's what all of this is saying right now.
This is Dateline, and I'm being interviewed.
Where's that Keith Morrison guy?
You know who his stepson is? Matthew
Perry.
Friends.
Yeah, Matthew Perry, yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah, I did know that.
Anyway, stay away from Bob.
Radio Paparazzi.
Because he would just put you in the situation where maybe you'd be punked. He says that life is good now that he has some friends.
I have friends again, right? For a long time, like I would go out and like nobody would want to hang out because they were like, I'm not messing with him. So now I have friends again, and it's nice to have friends. Like, I'll be honest.
That would be
Yeah, it sure
difficult
is.
every time around, thinking somebody's going to be jumping out of the bushes and screwing you over.
You know, like the first season, it was him pranking his friends, but then it was like celebrities wanting to punk their celebrity friends. So it wasn't really him that was
He
out
was
trying
behind
to
the
find
scenes
his
on all of it, though. That guy
victims.
produced every episode.
Dancing with the Stars performer Sharna Burgess, who just had a baby with Brian Austin Green in June. She was talking about how she is now ingesting her own placenta pills. And a lot of women do this. It is not a cheap process, but it definitely helps with recovery. You know who did this was Hillary Duff.
It like stops your body from like hemorrhaging after you have a baby. They say that it gives you all kinds of like energy and nutrients and helps balance your hormones and stuff like that. And I'm still completely like repulsed by it. But they were like, usually like the moms will like put a little tiny piece of it in a smoothie. I know it sounds gross, but it's so badass that a woman can grow a temporary organ and then you can eat it.
It is pretty incredible. I
That
don't
sounds better
think
than
I
those
would
Cheetos
grill
you
it,
were
but I would definitely eat it pill form. I would. Or if they put it into like a powder for a protein shake, I'd probably do it that way. William Shatner went to like a fruit stand on the side of the road in California, in Gilroy, California, and he had bent over. He had his wallet like an old man in his front pocket, and he bent over to get some corn, and his little wallet fell out, and they found it and got it to
Told him, hey, we found this wallet. He wasn't quite sure if I was telling a little joke.
We were vague about what we found, and we wanted to hear them correlate not just the wallet, but the contents as well.
I thought about putting a sign up, William Shatner was here.
I love how they have his ID with his photo and everything like that, but he had to identify it. It's like, wouldn't it be the other way around?
Yeah, won't you just look at him and go, I think you're this guy?
But returned it with everything in there. And then, of course, he had to post on Twitter and say, thank you so much for your extreme honesty. It's very rare these days. Blowing out their candles today, Lori Loughlin is 58. And Elizabeth Berkley from Saved by the Bell is 50 today.
That one blew my mind. That one's tough to ingest.
So excited. Families and friends, you can enjoy animals and fried food and entertainment. The Stearns County Fair is underway through Sunday at the fairground in Sauk Center, and there are going to be events every day. And traditionally, they say it brings about 30,000 people in. So,
including Elena tomorrow. She'll be broadcasting live, so take a look for her. And when you find her, ask for some swag. And if she doesn't have any left, then tell her she's a loser.
yeah, I think she's doing a kissing booth, too.
Stop. You stop.
I'm just kidding. What is your favorite fair food? If you were to go to just like an average fair, not the state fair, but like your go-to.
I'll do
You
the
walk in.
cheese curds. I'll do the cheese curds.
Oh my God.
I am a big fan of the funnel cake if it's done right, though.
I was going to say, I'm kind of like a sweet tooth gal at fairs, so I think the funnel cake would be mine. All right, some might think that it was the commentary of former Russian detainee Trevor Reed that kind of got the ball rolling when it comes to releasing Brittany Griner, the WNBA player that is being held. Also, former Marine Paul Whelan, but it looks like it's been in the works for a while.
We put a substantial proposal on the table weeks ago to facilitate their release. Our governments have communicated repeatedly and directly on that proposal.
This has been at the top of the mind for the president and for his whole national security team. He receives regular updates about the status of our negotiations to secure Brittany and Paul's release.
It's extraordinary in that I've never heard the U.S. government actually talk about an offer publicly, that they've made an offer to make a concession to a nation state who is holding an American hostage.
All right, so hopefully things continue to go the route they want. In sports, this is, I watched the whole video. It was pretty funny.
It's amazing.
The University of Notre Dame, they wanted to unveil their special new jerseys in a very unique way, so they kind of channeled their inner hangover.
All right, give us a uniform.
Throw us a bag, then you get the uniform.
All right, throw him the bag, Bosky.
Here's your uniform.
Is this some type of joke?
This is not the uniform.
What you talking about, Willis? That uniform won a national championship.
I'm sorry, sir, but this is not the uniform we're playing in.
You gave us the wrong jersey.
Not our problem.
Was that Marcus Freeman, the coach? Is that who it is? Because he was kind of the standout star. Like, he could probably be an actor. He was one of the best in that.
Listen, this is where we're at with college sports right now. These guys put together a 4-minute, highly produced video to debut their new game jerseys.
It was really
at
fun.
A college level.
I know.
I'm telling you, like, ours were, hey guys, they're in the hamper.
Yeah.
Go grab one.
Wash it. They might have
Find
stuff
your
on
number. Yeah, find both the jerseys that have your number on it. Make sure your mom washes them. Bring them back.
Yeah. All right. So police in various cities, they are suggesting people be wary of giving people money to parking lot violinists, which is super weird because when I was thinking about this, I'm like, oh my God, my sister and I were walking into Target in Coon Rapids, heard this happening 2 doors down right in front of the Five Below. This guy going at it with his violin, but he had this big speaker. And I'm like, wouldn't it be funny if he was faking? Finding out now that they do this all over the country.
What's my problem is that there's people that actually spend time to learn how to play the violin, and you're standing here faking it, scamming people out of money. That's my problem. Like, you're not playing the song at all.
So, calling me a Karen for outing somebody that is fakely playing the violin.
But you used the word fakely, Karen.
But you know what I love is like he is putting in little to no effort to move the fingers down here. Like he's doing the bow.
I'll give you money if you can give me a Jamie Foxx-like performance on this.
Okay.
Or if you can play my request. Can you do Werewolves of London on that? Then I'll give you a couple of bucks.
Well, he's got to pull it up on his phone.
That's
so that
fine.
It goes over
The Doing Pianos guy do it.
Well, he's making money. So I guess that's what the goal was. And that is the 4 before you hit the door.
And when you really think about it, is he doing anything different than you and I every single day?
I don't fake play violin for money.
Probably more creative than what we'll ever do over here. Wait.
What?
Please tell our faithful, gorgeous, smart audience what you have decided to eat for breakfast today.
I have decided.
Now, by the way,
when do I ever eat like this?
I can only label this as a moment of weakness and or some kind of emotional trauma.
Yeah. So it was either this or Gardetto's.
Why does it have to be one or the other?
But like, why is this a big deal?
Because
answer that as the question.
During that last song, I went to the bathroom real quick, and about this time in the morning, I'll not just wash my hands, but I'll splash some water on my face because I'm like, well, cause it's like a halfway point for me.
Oh, I never knew that about you.
Reset. It's from my favorite movie, The Hustler, with Paul Newman and Jackie Gleason. Okay. There's a moment in the movie where they're playing pool, and Jackie Gleason's character, Minnesota Fats, stops, washes up, gets some powder, reties his tie, puts a little flour in his pocket, and then Paul Newman's character is drunk, and he's like, and he comes back and he wins. So I was trying to reset about halfway through the show. I come in here, I'm like, what is that? That's not a candle. What is that? That smells like jalapenos. And I was like, all right, well, whatever. I look down, and Kat has got, they're everywhere. Tell everybody what you're eating.
You need to knock it out.
Tell everybody what you're eating.
I am eating jalapeno Cheetos. And it's literally not that big of a deal. I don't know why you blow stuff up like this. What do I eat every day? Apples. I eat grapefruit. Sometimes Gardetto's. Oatmeal. And then I have one bag of junk food. And you literally blow it up.
It's
like
not,
it is the biggest
because here's
deal.
what's happening today. What are you doing the rest of the day?
I am on the move the rest of the day.
Hanging out with our beautiful, smart listeners. And you think they deserve you to have jalapeno Cheeto breath?
Do you see my makeup kit over here with my toothbrush and toothpaste? Today. Yes, I was going to put my makeup on. I feel like as a manager, you can't say this stuff to me, and I'm writing it all down. And it's on the air.
There's some gray area there.
This was kind of crazy to watch. A presenter of a live TV prime minister debate in the UK, Kate McCann, fainted and collapsed. So one of the candidates was debating, and then you just hear her go down.
He's not going to stop there. He's going to challenge the freedom and democracy.
Jeez, she dropped like a ton of bricks.
No one's explaining what happened, so maybe it's a medical issue.
Oof.
You know, like if it were something like, oh, I just didn't eat breakfast that morning and I felt faint, they would have come out and said it. So maybe there's something more serious to it. But
poor girl.
Have you ever passed out or fainted anywhere?
I was dating a girl when I was a junior in high school. This girl that I was dating, she got really religious. Like, I don't know, we'd been dating maybe a month or two, and then and I didn't know her to be like overly religious. She's like, "Hey, you want to come to church with my mom and my dad?" Yeah, sure, whatever. You know, like it was weird for my mom to go, "You're gonna go to another church?"
Yeah,
because I'd only gone to one my entire life, and I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So I show up and I do the shirt and tie and nice pants and shoes all shined up and everything like that. Well, apparently this church in July kept the heat on.
Oh, man.
And we're sitting there, and this was like an hour and a half church service. Yeah. This was not your typical, let's get in and out and you know, get our God on. And it was, I don't know, an hour into this church service. And they went to hit the kneelers. They're Catholic. They went to hit the kneelers, and I just sat there because I'm Lutheran, and dunk.
No.
I just tipped over and woke up to her dad fanning me with the bulletin.
Yeah.
You know? He's like, "You all right? You all right?" And I'm like, yeah. What's going on? Did I fall asleep? He goes, "No, you passed out."
Jeez.
And so, like, I'm guessing he probably got up and sat on me, like, when they got up from the kneelers.
Yeah.
But I'd passed out in church right there. That's the only time I passed out. Now, I've been knocked out more times than I can probably count on one hand. That's the only time I've ever passed out or fainted.
I think we've all, like, stood up too fast, and you were worried that maybe you were going to faint. But when's the last time you fainted? What were the kind
of circumstances?
Yeah, circumstances surrounding it.
Imagine, Kat, your career takes a turn and you are selected as the moderator for a prime minister debate. You are center stage. You are going to make sure everybody stays on track, but then you just pass out.
He's not going to stop there. He's going to challenge the freedom and democracy.
And she takes a header, and basically everything just falls apart after that.
Sack of potatoes. I've never, thankfully, passed out.
Ever?
No. Mm-mm. I did feel like I was gonna. One time I had to sit down, you know, where they have the bags that go around at Walmart, like when they check you out, and it's like the
revolving plastic baggy thing.
I had to sit there, and then like the metal hooks were hitting my back, and she just kept, I'm like, can you just let me sit down for like 2 minutes? It was like hot off my surgery, and I literally felt like I was just gonna pass out. Just needed a moment.
Marissa, last time you fainted or passed out?
Hey, yeah. So it was our first trip to Disney World, and we were on the bus on the way to Magic Kingdom, our first park day. And there were no seats left when we get on the bus, so I had to stand, and I was standing next to my dad. So we were on the bus for maybe 5 minutes at the time, and it was early in the morning, so I hadn't eaten a whole lot. But I, touched my dad on his shoulder, and I'm like, "Dad, I'm blacking out."
Yeah.
So how old are you at this point?
So I pass out, and next thing I know, I'm laying on the ground. There's a whole bunch of people freaking out around me.
Yeah.
So, I passed out on the bus on the way to Disney World, and when we finally got to the park, the paramedics were taking my blood pressure, and I couldn't even stand up. I was so low on blood pressure.
Do you get motion sickness? Because I know what kind of bus/tram you're talking about, and when everyone is shoved in there and it's hot, and then you have that fuel smell from the back of the bus hitting you, that's a good combination for a nice faint there.
Yeah, I do get motion sick a lot. Yes.
How old were you when you passed out here at Disney World, Marissa?
Let's see. I was probably 16 at the time, I want to say.
Does this keep happening to you? Has this happened more than once?
So I used to pass out a lot as a kid. I used to pass out at the sight of blood, all the time.
You would just faint.
Yeah. So
wow.
There was this one time that's very distinct to me, actually, where when my brother and I were really little, my little brother, those plastic pumpkins kids have for Halloween?
Yeah.
He, pricked finger on it, and it bled through the Band-Aid, and I saw that, and I passed out as my mom was curling my hair.
Oh, no. So safe to say you're not a phlebotomist for a job.
No.
You know, it would have been a better ending
no.
to the story. Like you passed out and your head went in the pumpkin and you couldn't get it out for a couple of days. That would have been better. I was hoping it was going to go there.
You were like Sleepy Hollow.
I'm going to be really, really honest with you, Marissa. I was going to be like, oh my God, I couldn't get my head out of the plastic pumpkin.
Isn't
so they had
he
to
so
cut.
mature? Instead of saying, were you okay?
Well, I'm assuming she's okay. She sounds like she's got it together this morning. But then I was like, maybe they would have had to cut holes in it and you had to breathe through it until the end of Halloween. And then
yeah, we get it.
You would have went back to school and everybody would call you Pumpkinhead and stuff like that. I think that would have been great.
Yeah.
Let's add that to the story next time.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm 20 now, so I haven't passed out in a while, but I get very dizzy at a lot of things.
Well,
so.
Halloween's always right around the corner.
Right.
All right. Thanks for checking in. Hope you have a really good day today.
Yeah, thank you. You too.
Let's begin now.
Let's get it. Thursday vibes popping in the Playhouse. Good morning. I'm JJ. How is Kat?
I'm good. Had a good day.
Sound good.
Yeah, I'm fine. It was just a weird night's sleep again. I don't know what's going on. I have a great bed.
Are you microdosing?
It was nice and cold. No, I have been taking like 8-hour extra strength Tylenol at night. So I wonder if that has
deep
something to do
REM
with it.
you're getting into.
Yeah. So other than that, had a good day yesterday. Ran to see Grandma and Grandpa, brought them a BLT, and they shared a foot long. But I'm like, their old tummies are so tiny that, like they can barely finish a 6-inch. So it's kind of funny. And then went and picked up Liam. He went to the Saints game all day yesterday.
Yeah, how was that?
With Community Ed. Oh my God, they had a blast. What a cool program. They just bring like 2 busloads of kids, a bunch of chaperones,
They do it right.
had a great time.
You know who owns part of the Saints is Bill Murray.
Not anymore.
Oh, he doesn't?
No.
That's a thing.
That
I
is
didn't
a
know
thing.
that. Oh, you know what? Because it's the Twins minor league affiliate now. You're right. They bought him out. I forgot about that.
Yeah. But I liked that. I thought that was really cool because I really like Bill Murray. But yeah, no longer.
But you still like him. They're just no longer owned by
Correct.
him. Right. Okay. I just wanted to
I
make
like
sure about that.
both situations. But we have a church in town that every Wednesday they serve root beer floats to the public, like massive.
So now you're church going folk?
Not cute. I was like, oh, tell me more about your youth program. Oh, one more dollop of ice cream in there. Oh, no,
You know
for
who's
real,
not laughing right now? Jesus.
I know.
Is not laughing.
He knows I say my prayers every single night. He knows I say what I'm thankful for. I'm more of a mattress worshiper.
We've always known that.
So yeah, that was my day. Yours?
Couple baseball games yesterday, and yeah, it was. It's the end of baseball. It was for us. It's the end of baseball. So my son Nolan has chosen not to play fall ball this year.
Okay.
He's just tired. I mean, we started doing the math. And I'm like, well, you got over 250 at-bats this summer between all 3 of the teams you played on. You caught probably close to 60 games.
Oh,
so it's
so
just,
much.
His knees are ready. His arm is ready just for a rest and to get to football. And then and I'm like, yeah, all right. Mini camp is this week for football. And, oh, yeah, and then hockey starts this week, too. So,
oh, my God. Why do you guys do that to yourself?
He really enjoys it, though. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things that he's just like, what's next? What's next? What's next?
Yeah.
And he's at the age where he's only 14, and this testosterone is flowing. So he's like, if I don't have something to do, he either sleeping or eating or skating or, something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I remember those days. Those were good days. The big difference is I got everywhere on my bicycle.
Yeah.
He gets everywhere in Dad's truck-icle.
Where were we? Where we saw a child riding a bike, and
you
Liam
were
goes like
shocked.
this, what is he even doing? I go, what are you talking about? They're riding their bikes. Where were we? But, I mean, he can ride his bike around our development all day, every day. But if he wants to get to his friend's house, I have to drive him because we live 6 miles away down a highway. So
It wasn't anything when I was that age to run to the weight room, which was 1.5 miles away.
Yeah.
And then lift and then run home. Like, that was just a thing.
anytime I tell Liam stories like that, I sound like my dad.
You do. You sound like an old prospector.
I'm like, I used to ride my bike 4 miles to the pool and then 4 miles home, 8 miles that day. He's like, oh my God, were there cars on the streets? Yes.
Welcome into the KCLD Playhouse. Cat and JJ up in here. Good morning.
So this is a couple in San Francisco that just got a ticket for parking. And normally I would say, read the signs.
Your fault, dummy.
Probably didn't read the signs, or maybe you have a lead foot and you were going down the highway going 20 over. That's your fault. This one, though, they were parked and the people came around and they actually ended up painting while that car was parked there, painting the curb Therefore, they still got a ticket.
Anytime it's open, I've been parking there for 25 years.
We came out, we were walking up from the store, and I noticed the ticket on my car. This seems unfair to me. The red stripe is there where it wasn't before, and they had the nerve just to go around my tire.
How funny is that?
They painted the red curb while they were parked when there wasn't the one before, and they got a ticket.
Yeah. So maybe there should be like a 24-hour grace period while the paint dries. Let the proper authorities know. Don't ticket anybody that day. But what's the last ticket you got?
Mine was a parking ticket just a couple of weeks ago. What happens is every quarter we've got to buy our parking ticket here at work, or our parking pass at work. And it got to, I don't know, July 7th or 8th or 9th or 10th or something like that. And I'd forgotten that July 1st was the beginning of a new quarter. Didn't even think about it, and went out to my truck. There was a ticket there, and so I was.
So you had been parking there for days and days and days and hadn't gotten a ticket?
Yeah, I hadn't even thought about it.
That's like really lucky.
Yeah.
That never happens.
How about you?
But that was nice of you to put the yellow envelope on my car to make me think I got a ticket.
I did do that, yeah.
And write the word poop inside.
Yeah,
very mature. I think the last hardcore ticket I got, what was it? It was the worst. So I drove an hour away to go to a gig, and I'm driving home, and then you have this anticipation. What am I going to do for the rest of the night? I want to get showered. I'm going to go out, have fun with my friends. So you're going a little fast. Then I get pulled over, and the ticket was for what I had made that day.
The talent fee?
Plus another $100.
Guys,
I was
that's some heavy irony. Kat takes her entire Saturday, drives an hour away from her home, does a live broadcast for the radio station, has to drive an hour back, and on the way back, she gets a ticket that ends up costing her $100 more than what she made that day for being out on live event.
It hurt my heart. It really did.
That's very funny, though.
It's not funny.
I find extreme humor in that. Here's what I want. What was the last ticket you got? Parking ticket? Maybe you were jaywalking. We were talking about this the other day. I had forgotten that your husband got a ticket for jaywalking in the city.
It was like 11 years ago, but we were walking, and he had cut from one corner to the corner of the courthouse sidewalk. Jaywalked. And they didn't turn the cherries on, but he was like, sir, can you step over here? And he got a ticket.
Wouldn't have been funny if he ran.
It was a $35 ticket.
For jaywalking?
Yes.
Who does that?
I don't know, but I think maybe if they think they snag one person, then they'll spread the word, like, don't jaywalk. They're looking for you. But, yeah, you got busted. Isn't that crazy?
I think they should. Was there a crosswalk painted?
What? Is there a crosswalk painted there? No, there's not.
Then how do you know where to go?
Well, it's jaywalking. You don't go from one corner to the other. You have to go straight across and then straight across.
I was avoiding a pothole.
Okay.
Imagine parking your car on the street where you've been parking for 25 years. You wake up the next morning, you go to your car, there's a ticket. You're like, what is going on here? You find out that overnight they painted a red curb where your car was being parked for the last 25 years. That happened to this couple in San Francisco. And so we all kind of started thinking about this. All right, what was the last ticket you got? I had a parking ticket maybe about a week ago. Your ticket was
years ago. So I haven't gotten a ticket, which would go against your theory that I'm a horrible driver. Wouldn't you think I'd have more if I were a horrible driver?
Well,
but
I know I'm scared.
Okay. Well, 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, I was going to a gig. It was a 3-hour gig, an hour away, a total of 5 hours away from my family on a Saturday. And the ticket was for the amount I got paid at the gig and then another 100. And it just hurt my soul. I was so sad. It was all for nothing.
Some heavy irony. Morning, Jason.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, I just got a ticket yesterday, for a matter of fact.
For what? What were you doing, man?
Actually, my dog broke his collar and was running around the neighborhood. So I got a $50 ticket for a dog at large.
Oh, man.
Dog at large. That's the name of it.
That sounds so ominous. Is your dog one that we should be afraid of?
He is known, his breed is known to be an aggressive dog.
Okay, what kind of breed?
Pit bull.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think one of your neighbors called you in on this?
I live across the street from a baseball park, and the baseball park called the police department.
Yeah.
So I totally understand it. You know, it kind of sucks, but it is what it is.
I know, but with that $50, you could have bought a new collar.
Yeah, exactly.
Radio Paparazzi.
Oh, yay. We get to hear about JoJo Siwa's stress rash.
I figured I would just explain this. So, no, it's actually not from the ponytails, because if it was from my ponytails, considering it went on this side, it would be this, because this didn't really get pulled at all. This is because when I was little, you can see I actually have a little bit of one right now, but when I was little, I had a really bad stress rash right here on Dance Moms, and I would pick at it all day long, and I damaged every single hair follicle that has ever been right there.
I'm very glad I don't show my stress at all. Like, I just internalize it.
Take it out on me during commercial
Some
breaks.
people, though, like, have rashes like that, like, and then hives when they're nervous or whatever. Geez, I'd be a mess. All right, Beyonce, she knew way back when she was little, that she was going to be a famous singer.
You've been doing this since you were 9 years old.
That's when I started performing at Walmarts and you know, wherever we could perform. We didn't become professional until we got a record deal around 12 years old.
There you go. Would that be weird to go shop the clearance aisle at Walmart and then you got Beyonce, a young Beyonce singing?
Hi, Kelly.
Her album Renaissance was leaked 2 days early. Leaked yesterday. But it is so true. There are millions of dollars in non-disclosure agreements and stuff like that. Nobody does it on
Beyonce's
accident.
record does not leak unless it's intended to leak.
Well, this is pretty cool. I love people that can lose gracefully. Harry Styles surprised Lizzo with a gorgeous bouquet after she knocked his song out of #1.
Thanks for the flowers, Harry.
There you go. She also said he smells very, very good.
Your hands are freezing, Harry.
Side note, Shawn Mendes has canceled the remaining dates of his Wonder World Tour. He has to focus on his mental health. I think he needs to get out of social media. He said that it's not been his friend lately. And
you think he'd have somebody run it for him?
You need
and
to
that
just
person
not look
could
at
just
it.
post video clips and stuff like that for a couple of weeks, and he could just stay off it.
Officials have released the name of the woman from Wilmer who was killed in a crash with a garbage truck on Tuesday morning. 56-year-old Nicolasa Lopez was driving a 2003 Dodge Caravan when she collided with the truck about 5 miles east of Raymond. She was pronounced dead at the scene. The driver of the truck was brought to the hospital. Going to be okay. The accident still remains under investigation. Family and friends, you can enjoy some animals and fried food and entertainment and Elena J out at the Stearns County Fair. It's underway from today through Sunday at the fairgrounds in Sauk Center. So it's going to be a good time. Events every single day. So check out their Facebook page. I know that that's a quick way to plan your outing. They expect about 30,000 people this year.
And
plus.
look for Elena out there tomorrow late morning.
Okay, should be good. Also, more info on the fair. You could head to our website, type in keyword news, go to the local tab. So on Monday, we heard about the founder of Raising Cane's buying 50,000. So he has 50,000 employees at Raising Cane's. Might I add, when you roll up to a Raising Cane's, the way they greet you is pretty phenomenal. I like that. What do they say? Like, what's kicking? You want some chicken? Something like that. It's really fun.
Is that different for every Raising Cane's, or is that just on all of them?
I don't know. But they seem to be having fun. So he wants to show them how much he appreciates them and buy another 50,000 worth.
Nobody won, and we think it's going to be us. So we're going to do it all over again. At least we have a head start. It takes about 8 hours to print those tickets. Jeez. So we're going to get a head start today and get them printed. $100,000 is not going to go a long way with 50,000 crew members if we just give it, net of taxes, etc. This is us taking care of each other, standing by each other as a family together.
Love
there
this
you go.
guy.
Now we got to do what's the breakdown
The math
for
on
a
it.
billion. So before they were only getting 9,400. What is, do you know?
Gotta
You're
be closer to
smart, aren't you?
$15,000 now.
1,000,000,000 divided by 50,000. $20,000 each. Is that what you said? I wasn't even listening to you. Okay.
Pretty close.
Perfect. This guy receives a complaint. I can't believe this. I hate HOAs. They're horrible. But it's like they're their own police officers. Check out what happened to this.
New complaint. Apparently somebody burnt their hand
on my property. What they did, as I parked this car outside, there's a child's handprint on the side of my car. And apparently, it's my responsibility because a child burnt their hand on the side of my car as it's parked outside.
Get
in
the
sun
fun-size candy bar.
What am I supposed to do? Like, have a warning on the side of my car saying,
God,
might be hot as it's parked outside in the Florida sun all day. Duh.
How crazy is that? I hope that's the only time I ever hear a story like that. And who is this president of the HOA that is distributing tickets like that?
Over my
warnings?
dead, lifeless body, am I giving up any money for something like that?
But it's even more sad that somebody else, the parent, thought that it was okay to complain instead of talking to your child. Just saying, don't touch cars. They're going to be hot. It's hot outside. And that is before you hit the door.
That's why tigers eat their young. Is that exact thing right there.
Apparently everyone has a friggin' problem. And they've brought their problems to the Playhouse. This is the People's Court. Yes, I said People's is, so we don't get sued.
So I didn't even know until Christine contacted us through texting that puppy support is a real thing. We're going to get the whole story, but this is going to make you feel like I got to board my dog before I leave on vacation.
Take a deep breath, get into it. What do we got going on here, Christine?
Yeah, my dog's probably 2 years old. So, yeah, a puppy.
Okay.
I don't even know how to say this because it's so ridiculous. I've got two dogs, so I've got a male and a female, and they're dogs that I got to Humane Society. Okay, they're special to me, right? Balder is, don't want to hear me say favorite, but is my favorite, and goes with me everywhere, and the cutest dog you've ever seen, by the way. So basically what happened is I have a neighbor. I'm not sure where they live, somewhere in the neighborhood, whatever. Balder got out a few weeks back. I was on vacation, actually, so I had my niece over here watching. And he gets out. He's a dog.
All right.
But he always comes back. He's really well behaved. So I recently got a knock on my door from my neighbor who said that her dog is pregnant. Her dog.
Oh, man.
Oh, Boulder's going to be a daddy.
Right. And so I'm thinking I didn't know if she was selling puppies. I wasn't quite sure where she was going with this.
Yeah.
Basically, this lady stands at my front door, and she asked me if I could give her a DNA sample from my dog because she thought she saw my dog on the, doing the thing with her dog.
Yeah.
Who she should have been watching, by the way.
So she wants doggy child support?
Is that even a thing?
Yeah. The long reach around of this is that. Can you believe it? This is
silly.
She wants DNA. She wants child support. She wants money because she's going to have to take her dog to the vet and have a C-section, and then they're going to have all these puppies to feed that they can't get rid of because they're not going to be purebred.
Okay, so I'm not a dog owner. This is something I'm not quite hip to. I've never heard of doggy support, and I don't know if you should. I feel like you should wait until these puppies are born and then see what they look like.
Like the dad?
Yeah. Hold it up. Bring them to Maury. Do something. Because I don't think you should start forking over this money until after they can prove that it's your dog. Then they can show you the vet bills and you can go half and half. But they also let their dog out to get pregnant. So they're
exactly. They weren't watching their dogs.
Yeah.
So this is kind of one of those man, and I don't even want to get into it because all the politics right now of maybe it was the dog's maybe it's the dog's choice. Maybe they want to have a puppy, lady. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not doing this. I'm not playing the game with the dogs. So I don't know what to do.
Hi, Jamie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I appreciate you chiming in here on the People's Court. First thoughts when you hear the, hey, my neighbor wants some retribution because I think my puppy got her puppy pregnant.
Well, I mean, an intact male dog can smell an intact female dog in heat for over 3 miles away. So we recommend. We recommend.
Wait. You're telling me that if a female dog is in heat, a male dog can smell that from 3 miles away?
Yeah.
That's crazy. And who's we? Where do you work?
I work at a vet clinic, and we typically recommend if your female dog is in heat, or like sometimes you don't know, but if you have an inkling that your dog is in heat, if you're going to have them outside, just have them supervised, because we've seen dogs scale fences to get to female dogs, and it's very quick when it happens.
Well, I mean, think about
up.
Yeah, I was going to say, think about what a guy will do, and then multiply it by pure animalistic integrity, like an actual dog.
That is crazy. A 3-mile run because you caught the wind.
Well, listen, I drove 40 miles to date a girl once, so I'm saying, like, all right, I get it. Now, is there such thing as a doggy DNA test? I mean, do you guys do anything like this?
I mean, you can do like a genetic test to see if like what breeds the puppies are.
Okay.
You would have to like cheek swap each one of them, but you would have to test all 3 of the dogs and see if they line up.
So this person is saying if you pay puppy support, do you get visitation and either half of the puppies or half the money when she sells them, because the other dog, she said, was purebred. So if they do, in fact, breed the other one, the female, then they should get half the money, right?
Well, I've personally never heard of like doggy support. Usually when it happens where one dog got impregnated, they just call it a whoopsie litter and try and sell them the best they can. But
like at a discount, like the dollar store dogs?
Yeah, I mean, they don't sell them for like a full purebred price by any means.
So,
can you imagine how they feel listening to us talk about them right now?
Those dogs?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're probably pretty butthurt.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, since I got you on the line, Jamie, can you just, my wife's going to be listening on her Alexa. Can you just tell her to quit giving our dog table scraps?
Oh, yeah, don't give table scraps unless they're like healthy foods like veggies and...
You know what my wife likes to do? She likes to get the big popcorn bag at Costco because it's got the cheese and the caramel popcorn in it. And she'll be eating that, and she'll flip the cheese because she doesn't like the cheese. She only likes the caramel. So she'll flip the cheese ones up in the air, and our dog loves it.
Dogs can have popcorn?
You can't give the dog that much popcorn. That dog. And then last night, the worst dog fart ever, Jamie. It was... It had 4 different layers to it, and it got progressively worse about every 3 minutes. And my wife looks at me, she goes, "Was that you?" And I said, "You're feeding the dog cheese popcorn all day."
Can you also tell her to stop buying matching outfits with the dog, too?
The Playhouse Podcast is made possible thanks to Bradshaw and Bryan Law Offices. Catch the live show weekdays from 5:30 to 9 on 104.7 KCLD. Now, share this with a friend.